everybody, welcome back to another course update. 82 degrees yesterday, 32 degrees now. Anyway, I'm back on my favorite project here, the boomless sprayer. Starting tomorrow, we're going to be throwing down our crabgrass pre-emergent, and this is the apparatus we use to spray it. So this is in need of repair. When I was using this last fall to put down our broadleaf weed control on our very last tank, thankfully, I started noticing a pressure drop, and I was trying to adjust the pressure, you know, with these dials and everything, and it just couldn't. I couldn't seem to figure out what was going on. Then I'll bring you guys in here. Then on that last tank, I saw a drip coming from right here. Drip, drip, drip. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but this fitting has dropped. There's more threads up on top than there is at the bottom. So I think what's happened is this fitting has shifted and it's created essentially like a vacuum. And that makes sense, because if it's sucking air as much as it's trying to suck chemical from out of the tank, you're going to see quite a bit of a pressure drop. So I believe that's what's happened. Another thing I think I'm going to address is, if you look at it from this view, you can see it's also kind of at a 25 degree angle. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this part. I'm going to get like a longer one, which will essentially bring the filter out and line it up better that way. And also, in doing so, I'm going to look for a brass fitting, if I can. But anyway, with it being really cold outside, this is a good opportunity to take care of this issue. So Trey is actually inside working on the tractor that pulls this, because we have a seal leak, and so he's taking that apart and working on that. But anyway, I'm going to start taking this apart. There's your problem. Look at that. So that's definitely where it's losing pressure. So like I said, with this pump pulling, I wish this pump was down below the tank. And the reason why I say that is that way the pump is gravity fed from the tank. Since the pump is higher from where it's pulling from, that's exactly what this pump has to do. It has to pull up that product, or whatever you're spraying. Anyway, that's not what caused this, but I'm kind of looking at it. It's like, man, too bad this wasn't down on the bottom. But that's quite an undertaking. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I think what happened was just the vibration from this apparatus, from this whole thing, and the angle of this just slowly pulled this down and eventually cracked it and sent to its, yeah, you can you can actually see how it's like malformed. That's pretty crazy. So anyway, I'm going to look for a metal fitting. I'm hoping I can find a brass fitting, which this is probably 1.5 inches, and it goes down to maybe 1.25 inches. But hopefully I can find a brass fitting that will snug in there a little bit more tight, and maybe not shift like this did. But, and again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. This is the filter that catches any debris that we have in the tank before it goes into the pump. I think I'm going to take this off and get a longer nipple here to hopefully, and it looks like maybe a 1/2 inch would do the trick, but Yeah, so let me get that apart. And I'm back. Got myself a oil wrench here. There we go. Oil filter wrench. That needs cleaned. Sometimes chemical just doesn't really break down. Can you see in there? Chemical doesn't become just pure liquid. Some of it's emulsified and wettable powders, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, put a filter on so it doesn't clog your nozzles. I am right. Or I was previously wrong, but spray this on here and let this chew. Wish my hands weren't covered in crap because then I can have a drink of coffee. Man. Oh, that's on there. Let's see if we can make this cook anymore. Let's give her the old college try again. Oh my gosh. Get myself a hernia. That ain't coming off. That is fused on. I really don't feel like going and getting the torch and heating it. But that could work. That's what I'm talking about. Good old PB blaster. Some heat. So don't make the mistake of grabbing this with your hand, because it is hot. All right. Now I'm going to measure this, and like I said, I think I'm just going to get one that's ½ inch longer, and hopefully that makes all the difference in the world. So I need to run to the store, pick up some parts, and I'll be back with this. All right, I'm back bearing gifts for myself. Hopefully this stuff works. Had to get kind of creative on a few of these things. Like for instance, this nipple that came off here, this is a 4-inch nipple. And that's the maximum they have before it goes up to 6 inches, which 6 inches will be too long. So I bought one 2-inch, two 2-inch, and a coupling. And together it makes like anywhere between 4.5 to 5 to almost 6 inches. So I can kind of adjust it that way. So we'll put that on first. And as you can see, I got probably about an extra inch out of that. But when I go tighten it down, it should tighten down a little bit more to get me my 4.5 inch goal. It's pretty good. We'll have to really tighten this down. It might be too much. My plan might backfired. Maybe not. Probably be better than what was it. Anyway. See, I ended up getting all metal parts except the elbow there. But that should work. It's going to be a you-know-what getting it on, but it should go on. And once again, I apologize for not putting too much golf course related stuff up. I try to make things interesting. I don't know, I kind of like fixing things. And especially this machine. You guys have seen it from the start. It kind of holds a special place in my heart. So whenever something goes wrong with it, I take it personally and I want to redo it myself. And I figure I already made 100 of these videos. Why stop now? And like I said, it's not like we're 100% on the go out on the golf course. We're close. But like for instance today, even though I'm doing this, Trey's fixing the front loader. The other guys are picking up storm debris, winter debris, tree debris. So I don't really post that stuff because that's kind of boring. But I want to show you guys what we do, and even though golf courses may have mechanics, there's always something going on, and like I said, he's busy with that, so this is an easy fix for me. So I thought, what the heck? I'll fix it, and you guys can watch me fix it. Man, that's on there. That's on there good. Think that'll work? It's not on there as much as I was hoping, but it's on. I think the only thing left to do is try it. Okay. And we'll go clean this filter, put it back together. We'll test it.
That's why I wish this pump was below, because it's trying to draw up all that water. It's trying to pull it up instead of just gravity feeding into it. Huh? I don't think so. Well, here, we can put... No, because there's nothing on that one. This isn't reading anything. Well, the good thing is it's not leaking. It has pressure, it just won't turn on. All right, so what's going on here is the sprayer is actually working. It's actually built pressure, the agitator's working, no leaks. The control to turn it on and off isn't responding, so it has to be an electrical issue up by the tractor, so that's what we're checking out. Whoa! Turn it off! Turn it on. What's the pressure say? 40? What about that one? $40? I think we got it working. All right, so we got the leak fixed. Like I said, it was this part right here that was leaking pretty bad. So the issue that we were having while starting it, embarrassingly enough, everything was right. Everything is hooked up correctly. It probably helps if I open up this knob to actually give it product to go up there. So that was it. I had a valve closed. It wasn't receiving any water, but now that I have it opened up and adjusted, you saw Trey turning it on and off. The spray pattern in the back looked pretty good. All adjusted, and up at the controls it was reading 40 psi, which is where we spray. So I called it a success. It wasn't too hard of a fix, but you know, sometimes these things can get kind of hairy. But anyway, I think that'll wrap this one up, and starting tomorrow we should start spraying our crabgrass control and let the season begin. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and see you next time.
Got the app on your phone?
Do what?
The GoPro app on your phone.
I need the little clicker. Does that? It looks like it's pointing way over there, but it's all in it. Unless you want to be the guy that just follows me around like this.
I can follow you around. Like a little dude.